Kathy Lanzalaco from Inspire Careers, here with another episode of Job Seeker Spotlight, the video podcast series where I introduce active job seekers into the marketplace, allow them to shine, and help you to get a look into their skills and experience to see if they might be a good fit for your organization. And here with me today, I'm happy to introduce Georgia Grace Snead. Hi, Georgia Grace.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. It's so exciting to have you here. Here in our interview platform, we start out every interview the way that you're going to start out any job interview. And that is, tell us a little bit about yourself, Georgia Grace. Go ahead.
All right. I am from Asheville, North Carolina. I went to University of South Carolina for undergrad, where I got a degree in political science. Then I did a year of law school at University of South Carolina School of Law. I am taking some time off because I'm not quite sure if that is the right path for me. And I'm currently working as a legal assistant and office assistant at Grimes, Tisch Anderson, which is a personal injury workers' compensation law firm based in Western North Carolina. I really enjoy it. And every day I get to learn something new. I work with client intake. I work in the front office. I work in the back office. I sit in on mediations. I assist the attorneys. I work a lot with medical records. And yeah.
Wow, that sounds like a very busy office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is, but I really enjoy it.
Well, I know that you're looking to go outside of that role. You have a lot more to offer. Tell us a little bit about the type of job that you're going to be looking for and some of those type of functions that you're going to want to perform.
I guess the type of role I would be looking for is something that I could bring what I learned at Grimes, Tisch Anderson and what I learned at my internship at University of North Carolina at Asheville, which is a smaller university. There I worked for the counselor's office, and we worked with HR, we worked with Title IX, we worked with compliance, the social media division, the DEI. So something where I can bring those different learning experiences to the job. So, compliance, human resources, higher education, diversity, Title IX, stuff like that, where I can definitely use those aspects and work with students, clients, just people in general.
That's great. That is awesome. We were talking before, Georgia Grace, about some of the things that you learned in law school, even if law, moving forward isn't necessarily in your future, but you did have some really great takeaways. And what were you telling me before about one of the things that you really learned in law school that you applied to everything in terms of your work ethic?
I guess one of the big things that we learned in law school was the confidentiality aspect, because working as a lawyer, everything you do is confidential, which is the same as even working as a legal assistant. But yeah, everything the clients do say is confidential. You have to sign a lot of confidentiality agreements. So do the clients, everyone working there does. So that's a big aspect. Another big thing is just the work ethic in general. Like, you have to be motivated to want to help people. You have to be motivated to get involved with people and really get to know them.
It's also working on teams, isn't it? I mean, it's working with the clients, and that you've had client-facing work is interesting, right? So a lot of people your age don't necessarily have that experience, but on top of it, you're part of this large, busy law firm. What has that taught you in terms of working in collaborative teams?
Yeah, it's taught me a lot. It's been really informative because there's just so many different moving parts to the office. You have to know, how to help different people. Sometimes, you have to go the extra mile to help someone else and know that they'll go the extra mile at another point to help you if there's, something you have trouble with. Yeah, everyone that I work with is really amazing. They're all super nice, super helpful. And that's something that I really like about my job and something that I hope I'll find in another one.
Yeah. Well, working in teams is critically important. Being able to support that. And particularly as you talk about having to do all kinds of things on the spur of the moment to keep the team moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of opportunity there. So when you're thinking about applying for jobs, What areas are you specifically looking? Are you willing to relocate for a job? Where are you thinking about going?
I am definitely open to relocating. Currently, I'm in Asheville, which is pretty small, like limited job opportunities. I'm looking in Charlotte, the greater Charlotte area, same with Charleston, just somewhere where there's a lot of young people where I can sort of like expand, I guess. But I'm really open to anywhere. Just staying in the South is my main goal. But I'm also open to working remote, doing hybrid, anything like that.
Oh, good. That opens your opportunities to a lot more things. And the fact that you're willing to relocate, that's pretty brave too. I'm really impressed. I wouldn't have done that at your age. I think that's fantastic. I do. I think it's great. And so as you're interviewing for jobs, and if someone was considering moving you on to the next round of interviews or hiring you, but they said, look, we've got many other candidates here. What makes you different? Why should we hire you? What would you say to them, Georgia Grace?
I guess something that I have that a lot of candidates wouldn't have is I have a year of law school behind me and internships working in legal offices. The year of law school, while I'm still not sure if that's something that I want to ever return to, was extremely informative just to show me how, working in a law office can be not just a law office, but working in compliance, working with, just people in general, working with confidentiality, medical records, all those kinds of things that you can see basically in any job. That was really, eye-opening. I definitely didn't know about that before I worked in or did a year in law school. It also helped me learn how to work with, other people that might not be super similar to me because there's so many different types of people that are in law school. So there's people that are 60 years old in law school. There's people that are 18 and somehow in law school. And it just really teaches you how to work with a really wide variety of people from all different backgrounds.
That's very insightful. I love that. All right. Well, that's awesome. So let's just talk a minute about your skill set too in terms of administrative skills. Can you just talk a little bit about that for the people that are watching?
Yeah. So I work in the back office. I mostly do medical records, client intake. I write memos. I've done CLEs, which is continuing legal education. And I've done, learned about AI. I've learned about emotional intelligence in the workplace. Have worked as a receptionist. So I've been called in to do payroll too. It wasn't part of my original job description, but it's something that I've had to do a lot so far in my job. I've learned the ins and outs. Yeah, with the HR part, I really enjoy it.
So you're good at Microsoft Word, you get Excel, you learn the programs pretty quickly?
Yeah, I would say so.
All right. Okay. And I keep going back to it, but I love that client facing that you've interviewed people, you talk, and you've sat on these meetings. So you see how these executives talk and how the lawyers talk. And I think that's important too. And so you have that empathy that runs through you. So I think that that's going to be a really good match for you in whether it's the areas that involve compliance, Title IX, higher education, HR. Those are all great skills for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So listen, Georgia Grace, we're going to tie this up now. Can you be found on LinkedIn? Do you have a LinkedIn profile?
Yes, I do. It is Georgia Grace Snead. Is it at linkedin.com?
That's good enough. Absolutely. We're going to drop the link here too, so that if anybody wants to reach out, and I will tell you, Georgia Grace has a fabulous new resume, and she'd love to share it with you. So if you're interested in getting more information, setting up an interview with her, reach out on LinkedIn. I know that she's on there frequently. She'll be checking her messages. She'll share her resume with you. And she's an absolute delight to speak with as well. So thank you, Georgia Grace.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to tie up this episode of Job Seeker Spotlight. If you have any questions about Georgia Grace, please feel reach out to her. And if you'd like to learn more about Inspire Careers and the services that we provide to recent college grads and executives, please reach out to me, Kathy Lanzalaco here. So thank you, Georgia Grace, for showing us today a little insight about your skills and put yourself out there because not everybody does that. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Until we all meet again, live inspired.